Okay.
Hi.
Third time is a charm. First time we recorded this, it didn't save. Second time,
Megan forgot what she was talking
I
about.
started vomiting words.
We should actually show some of those.
Oh, I already
words.
deleted it.
Oh, I didn't.
It was bad. I just thought, I don't know the words that are coming out of my mouth. Did you ever watch The Office?
Oh, yeah.
There's an episode where like Michael's talking. He's like, sometimes I don't even know where this is gonna go, so I just keep talking to see. And that's kind of like what it was, but worse.
It was all right.
It was bad. And now we're gonna be.
So we're gonna try again and hopefully get through this without laughing.
I know. We're sorry. We're gonna be real good at this episode now. Just go ahead and start on this.
Hey guys, welcome back to Called to Homeschool, episode number 22 today. We're going to be talking about fear and faith.
Yes, to have faith and to not fear.
Yes.
So let's talk first, why do we even feel fear, and is it a useful emotion?
It definitely is a useful emotion. Our body needs it, right?
We do. Like if you are being chased by dogs, fear is going to kick in and is going to tell you to run.
Yes.
I was running once and some dogs came after me and it was super scary and fear kicked in so I could sit and scream for the farmer to come out and get his wild dogs that were trying to nip at me. But fear was totally useful because it saved my bacon and I didn't get bit by these dogs. So there are lots of times fear is super helpful, like don't touch fire. Don't climb in an oven, right? Like
look both ways before crossing
there
the
you
street.
go. Just basic safety things,
Yes.
right? Fear is a good thing. But sometimes fear is not helpful if it stops us from something that is going to give us growth or something that we know we're supposed to do, like called to homeschool.
Yes. So there's a lot of really scary things in this world. And if we were constantly held back by our fears, there wouldn't really be much that we would do in our lives.
No, especially not with the technology and the things that we have today. You wouldn't have to leave your house.
Right, yeah, but that would really be no way to live.
No, if your life is Netflix and Uber Eats and groceries can be delivered to your house, right? Like
you would never have to leave.
You'd never have to
that'd
leave.
Be pretty cool. But
and
then
you'd
you'd
grow.
be afraid of the cyber security and all of that going on.
Oh, you would.
Identity theft and anyway.
Karen's putting in lots of fears in your head now. If you weren't afraid of that, you are now.
So anytime you're going to be making a hard decision in your life, you're going to be afraid of some things, right? There's going to be a little fear involved. But you're going to need to make them with faith. Faith that things are going to turn out the way that they're supposed to be. I've always felt like fear and faith are sort of opposites, and there's another opposite of fear we'll talk about in a minute. But I really think that God's going to guide your path as you're praying for answers to things that you want to figure out in your life. And I have a little scripture that I love in Mark, verse 36. It says, "Be not afraid, only believe." And I really feel like that's true, that if you believe and you have faith, that you'll be led to the things that are right for your life and your path.
And that doesn't mean that it's going to be a smooth path.
Oh, no.
Like, I think that's a good thing to remember. Like, I was called to homeschool, so
it's going to be perfect and beautiful.
Yes,
and
my kids are just going to sit there and be like, Mom, I love this. And your husband's going to be like, I don't care that you didn't make dinner again, and your sweats look so good on you.
And I love it when the floor's not vacuumed.
Right? Like, it doesn't mean that it's this sweet, smooth sailing thing. And that is true in anything, not just homeschooling.
Yeah.
There are going to be some obstacles and bumps in the road, and can you continue on when fear shows its ugly head?
Yeah, and I think it's really important that you do, that you have courage and keep going through those hard times.
Yes, because courage is just the opposite of fear, because courage is being afraid and doing it anyway, which is just taking that leap of faith.
Yeah.
You feel this call to do it, and it's funny, it's now been 12 years this summer that I decided to homeschool, and I did freak out, and it was fun to kind of rethink what was going on through this summer 12 years ago, yes, I'm totally going to homeschool, and then I let other people's fears become my fears, because fear is super contagious.
It really is.
And so if my cute friend Karen here came with a nasty cough and is just hacking all over me, then I'm probably going to get a cough and I'm going to start spreading it to everyone else as well.
Right.
Your fear is the same way. It is super contagious. So if you start going, oh no, this could go wrong, and this could go wrong, and like the house could start on fire and you could all be social rejects and on and on and on, then guess what's going to happen to your kids?
It's probably all going to be the case. I don't know about
Right.
the house catching on
Yeah.
fire. But
Well, like, because you're not watching him, I don't know.
but usually your fears can come true if you dwell on them for too long, or
Yeah.
if you teach your children about those fears, they're going to have the same fears.
Yeah, there's a song, and I was trying to remember who it is. It's like Pink Floyd or The Doors or something like that. But Mama's gonna give her fears to you.
Mm.
I don't know how the melody goes, but I have a lot of musicians at my house, so I've heard that phrase, and so you can give your kids your fears. Like, I'm afraid you'll never read, and then your kid will make that true. Your fear, you will create whatever you are afraid of.
Yeah. So homeschooling is a perfect example of doing something with faith, but not fear. Well, you may still have fears.
But you'll have courage so you can push through it.
But it is a hard decision to make. It is a scary one that you make often with a lot of fears behind you. And there's a lot of big fears with homeschooling. Megan's mentioned a few of them, but choosing the right curriculum, not having enough social interaction, not being good enough as a homeschool mom to do all the things, not being patient enough, and worrying what others think of you. There's just so many scary big things that can come at you with homeschooling. And if you let your fears stop you from making a choice that you feel is right for your family, then you're going to miss out on all the possible benefits that will come because of that choice. And you'll never know what could have been.
Yes, because I think, look at the growth that has happened in us and in our children by having that faith and continuing to move forward.
Yeah, I was just talking to my husband about this, how we were reminiscing on the days before kids and how much more fun we were. And I thought about it for a minute, and I realized that I really like my life a lot better now. And I feel like we were very selfish. And he said, well, of course, you're selfish. You're focused on only yourselves. There's no one else. But really, after having children and 15 years down the road of being a parent, and now 10, 11 years of homeschooling, I don't know, I've lost count, that I am a better person. I am stronger, I'm smarter, I'm more capable of doing hard things, and I love the things that it's taught me and the growth that I've had because of it.
Yes, it's definitely being able to, I think every time your kid hits another level. So like, okay, cute, I was able to homeschool through elementary, but junior high, that's starting to get serious. And high school, yikes, that's way serious.
Yeah.
And so this summer we had some changes because I would like to turn my kids' education over to them and ask them what do they want, what are their results. And so my oldest wants a high school diploma. And like, if I were operating in the space of fear, then it wouldn't happen because I couldn't help him figuring it out and working with a counselor and doing the things he needs to get his high school diploma. And the same with my other next two kids who've decided to just skip high school and go straight to college. Like, operating in a space of fear, sometimes you stick your head in the sand. Like, sometimes you just want to check out. Like, I don't even want to deal with it. It seems so scary that like it's just going to be easier to not deal with it.
Yeah, that's so true. But you got to push through those hard things and those hard feelings and those feelings of fear and have faith that it's going to work out in the end. Sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith into the dark, not knowing what's going to be there around the corner or through that dark tunnel that you may go through. Those leaps are really scary and can be really hard and may even seem life-threatening at times, right? But when you come out on the other end and have learned from that decision you've made, you're going to see beauty and you're going to see why you made that leap in the first place. And be glad you did.
Yes, I think so. What's the hymn? It's "Fear not, I am with thee." With you or with thee? You know what I'm talking? How firm a foundation.
How firm a foundation.
Yes, I love that line. How fear not, I am with thee. And I think what a great mantra, a great thought to tell yourself. Like, when you're afraid, like, fear not, he is with me. Like, I may feel inadequate, and that's okay because he's going to fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
I don't know everything about history, but he does, and he's going to fill in the gap.
Right.
And I love being able to just trust in my Father in heaven and knowing that I don't have to have all the answers, and that's so much easier to operate in that space of faith because you know, like, he's going to be with me, he's going to help me fill in the gaps.
Yeah, definitely. So an answer to prayer is usually going to come after you take some action. I've learned.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't just show up in a pretty box and like,
no.
here, Karen, here's step by step of
you
what to
may
do.
just pray your little heart out, but until you make a decision and make a choice in one direction or the other, you're often not going to get the full answer of what you think you need. And if you're praying for the right thing for your family, you may not know the exact right even solution. And God will, and He'll direct you in the right way for what you need. And you'll be able to see a beautiful outcome.
Yes, and you know, as I was talking earlier about fear being contagious, faith is always also contagious.
Yeah.
And so is courage. So what a beautiful example that you are being for your children. Like, and I love being so open like that. Like, this was scary for me and I did it anyway. Because then your kids will face something. Like, maybe they want to audition for a theater. And they're like, but I've never sang in front of people. I've never acted before. I'm terrified, but I really want to do this. And then like, well, my mom is afraid, but she did it anyway. So if my mom can have courage, like, I can do this too.
Yeah.
I tell my kids all the time how awesome I am.
But Megan likes to talk about how she is.
I do. But I love it because my kids, they show up the same way. Like, they're like, I'm really awesome. I'm like, yes, you are really awesome. And so whatever fire you want to fuel, like if it wants to be fear, you can fuel it. You totally can. But it's probably not going to give you the result you want. Or if you want to fear having faith and having courage, fuel that fire, because that's going to give you a really rewarding and awesome life that may be a little bumpy, but like so worth the bump. Sometimes bumps, like I drive a big 15-passenger van, and the back row is the best place in the bumps, right? Like, it's exciting, you don't know what's going to happen, and like be able to go over those bumps with the courage and the faith, and like, yeah, it's going to be bumpy, but that's kind of part of the adventure.
Yeah, definitely. So do you want to share about your book? She's got this awesome book that she
Yes, it is. Those are my favorite words. Awesome and amazing. I should have called it the awesome book. But it's called Fight, Flight, or Freeze. And in the book, it is talking about for a child that's in the jungle and sees a jaguar and says, well, what do you think you want to do? Do you want to fight? And it explains fighting would be going up and punching the jaguar or getting a stick. It doesn't say that. I shouldn't say that. Like, I didn't make it graphic. But like, that's what a fight would want to do, right? Or flight would be running away, getting out of there. Or sometimes you feel so afraid you freeze and you can't move. So it talks about with the jaguar, you probably wanted to run away and the fear kept you safe. But if you're at the park and kids are there and they don't include you, then a kid who wants to fight, may want to go cause a problem or yell at them or be really angry and be mean. A kid who wants to fight, that's the kids who run away and just cry. Like, well, I don't want to deal with this. And freeze, it would be kind of just sulking, moping. I use better words for children, but like, you know what I mean. And then it talks about what to do with that strong emotion. And it's a cool acronym, taking a breath. And then it shows you like to stop, take 5 breaths, and relax. And then it goes through each one. So when your kid feels that strong emotion, you're like, oh, we're going to stop and we're going to take a breath. And then you're going to walk it through with them so they know what to do with that strong emotion and can process it. And then H stands for hero, because hero, you're going to then figure out how to conquer it. But you can't do that when you're in that super negative headspace.
That's great.
Which is another thing I'd like to throw in with fear, is that when you are in fear, you're hyper-focused on the problem.
Yeah.
Which is super great, right, if you're in danger. But if you're hyper-focused on a problem, being afraid in the school, like curriculum, then
that's all you can think
that's
about.
all you can think about, and you don't take the blinders off and think, oh, it's okay to try different curriculums.
Right.
Like, you're not married to anything, and you don't go to homeschool jail if you, like, this curriculum is the worst, and you get rid of it, right?
Right.
Like, you try out cute printables from Karen's website and think, oh, this is awesome. So you're just being willing to try new things when you get into that good headspace.
Yeah.
So it's a great tip for you, great tip for your kids, and you can download it for free. We'll put it in the show notes, but you can also go to my website, thehippiemama.org, which will be changing next month to coachmegthomas.com. I'm going to the .com world. And yeah, you can download that for free.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. So thank you guys for listening today. We hope that we have helped you to overcome some of your fears, or learn how to overcome some of those fears and push through those hard days.
Absolutely. And if you get stuck, remember to hit me up for a coaching session and to help you get through those fears. And I love doing that. So have a wonderful week. I think it recorded.
Yay.